Last time out, Chacha Vauzz got into a bit of an argument with the manager about being called down to AAA. And that was with him already having, if not the highest, top 3 average on the Mariners. But it was a rough stretch for Chacha Vauzz, seeing hit after hit seemingly go straight to a fielder. The good news is Chacha finished that last episode on a high note, hitting a home run down in Tacoma. Is that the corner turned, and will he see himself back up at the majors soon? Well, as we begin today, Chacha Vauzz, he has really solid hitting ratings. Contact is at 81 for both sides, clutch at 77 with plate vision at 75. We also saw him boost the power to close out the last episode as well. Both sides again up to that 55, hoping to line those more through the infield and find some grass. Plate discipline has seen some upgrades. Durability has seen some upgrades. And frankly, even the level that Chacha was playing at, he would very much be in the running for the American League Rookie of the Year. But to get that award, he needs to be back up at the majors. And if that's going to happen, Chacha, he's got to pick up his play, find the grass on those hits. And frankly, we need Bliss to cool down a little bit as he's on a hot streak. And Polkovich, he's a 67 overall. He should not be up at the majors. Today we look to prove Chacha right. But to get that call up, it's all going to depend on the play on the field. So as we then head into a series facing the Space Cowboys, Chacha Vauzz rocking at least one new uniform set here. Batting third for the Tacoma Rainiers. Runner at first. Top of the first, one out. And Chacha, very familiar, rolls that one over and does not beat it out, so it will be a double play. Not the start we were looking for, but swinging at a good pitch just didn't quite connect. Good news is we'll have another opportunity rather soon. Top of the fourth, though, down 3 runs here to the fancy Cowboys. Another runner on first, another one-out scenario. Chacha with an inside pitch sends that one straight over to second. Rinse and repeat. So far, that additional power not paying off. As we head to bottom of the fourth here, Corey Jolks stepping up to bat as we're hoping that he doesn't jolt that ball somewhere. With runners on the corners, nobody out. Chacha takes a couple steps in as they look to lay down the bunt. Look to make a play at home here. No, just get the tag at first. Make that 4 runs for the Space Cowboys. It doesn't look like the pitcher very much appreciates that whatsoever, but Chacha Vauzz stepping up here with a dynamic challenge with runners on the corners for the Rainiers. Fortunately, you're down by 7 here. Drive in all runs. That sure sounds nice. 72 speed at first, 77 at third. Chacha Vauzz with a fastball down the middle, goes off the top of the bat and behind the catcher for a foul ball. And Tamarez would open up a nice lead on Vauzz here with 2 mid-high fastballs. Count goes 0-2. And he left him one to hit, and he sure hit it hard, but it goes foul. Staying fighting in this one. Count stays 0-2. Chacha Vauzz. Few foul balls to start this at bat, and swinging through the low slider, Vauzz sat down. We'll have another dynamic challenge in this one, trying to avoid an offer. Now down by 9. Runners at first and second. Chacha Vauzz. Let's try to get a double or better here with the same speed on, so everyone else seems at least in front of Chacha to be hitting well. Behind, maybe not so much, as that is straight to second. It's gonna at least be a fielder's choice. Vauzz on the bases, not a hit. Still not making the contact we're looking for. Windish, 2 strikeouts and a ground out, so he too not having a great one. Chacha Vauzz gets a little bit of an extra lead over at first. Gonna have to get back here, though. That second step a little bit too much. Good news is Chacha slides back in safely. Goes back to getting that very much extra step here. Pitcher doesn't like it. Vauzz back again. Perhaps he's trying to get in the head here of Miguel before he gives something to Windish. as he does there, but it is snatched out of the air as Chacha tried to run on it. That's a double play. Another not so good appearance for Chacha Vauzz. But in total, it wasn't a good appearance at all for the Tacoma Rainiers here in Game 1. Space Cowboys take the series lead with an emphatic 10-3 win. Once again for Vauzz, it's every hit directed straight at a fielder. Getting Game 2 underway, Chacha still batting third in this lineup with a dynamic challenge to open things up. No one on, 2 outs, Chacha Vauzz. Let's see what we can do here against Anderson Brito. Pitch number 5. And that one is going to travel back in right, but it's only a few steps over. Once again, fielder makes a clean play to get the out rather quickly. Now, one thing we have noticed over this last game and opening inning, as we now move to bottom of the second, Chacha Vauzz no longer has any of that teal on any of his equipment. It's straight black and gold. Perhaps going back a little bit to his rebellion days with the St. Louis Cardinals, taking the red off of his uniform set as he makes the play over at first, a 6-4-3 double play. That's one thing that has continued to be solid for Chacha this season, no matter being called up or down or what team he's been on. Fielding has been solid. Top of the third, back up to bat. And another one that goes foul. Change up on the outer third. Once again, we're seeing Chacha battle well here against Brito. 2-2 count on 5 pitches. Number 6 coming in here. Vauzz swings and gets jammed, but that one at least travels into the outfield slightly. A further hit than I would have imagined with where that ball placement was. But he was definitely looking at another ball there to make it a full count. Instead, we move to bottom of the third. Still up 4, but 2 on for Quincy Hamilton. Got Dan Osuna on the mound. Chacha Vauzz with 1 out here, looking to turn a double play. As that will be hit pretty sharply over to Chacha. Get the quick little flip. And over to first indeed. We will turn that double play to end the third, keeping that 4-run lead intact. Now we just need a hit. We've been saying the same thing series after series. A pop out and a line out in this one, as it's another dynamic challenge for Chacha Vauzz. And while you would love to see his extra base hits come back, at this point we really just want a single hit. Laying off that fastball high by Jose Fury. But give him one down the middle. Chacha with contact, misplayed by the shortstop. Count that as a single. Chacha Vauzz on by his own accord. Something that has been fairly rare outside, again, that last game to end the previous series, where he had, I believe it was 3 hits. We would like some more multi-hit days. So with the Mariners organization, as Chacha looks to steal here, this one is in play. And Chacha looking to dig on into third here as well, sliding in just in front of that throw. An aggressive base runner. Windish gonna appreciate it. Now Tyler Locklear, he can add one on here with Chacha Vauzz 90 feet away. Has that extra lead. Just needs a hit here, and that one will find some space. Into the outfield, Chacha scores to make it a 5-0 lead over the Space Cowboys. While Chacha Vauzz surely likes getting on home, he starts to think in the back of his head a little bit. If everyone else is getting these hits, then he needs to. Otherwise, that call-up not going to happen. Fancy Cowboys do tack 1 onto that scoreboard to make it 5-1. Shutout blown, top of the 8th. With a runner on here for Chacha Vauzz, 0-1 count for Cesar De Jesus. As the runner goes, Chacha flies out to right field. Looked like a good pitch to swing on, just didn't quite square it up. Frankly, that's what we've seen time and time again, which is strange because that contact is surely at a good enough spot that you should be making solid enough contact to not send it straight to fielder after fielder. Chacha, though, looking to return the favor as that one's hit over to him. With a play made at first to record the second out, bottom of the 8th. And ultimately, that one would be enough. Get the Rainiers in the win column here, tying up this series 1 apiece. In a long stretch here, we'll see if Chacha Vauzz can take this game, build upon it, got that hit. Let's try to get 2 in the next one. I think, frankly, if he has to break out some bunts to make sure he's getting some of those hits, then that's just something we might need to do. Because right now the normal bat is not getting the job done. One out here, one on. Top of the first, Chacha Vauzz facing a 5-pitch mix. 97 to 75 with that curveball. And Chacha attempted that bunt, but it does go foul. So count goes 0-1. And giving this one another little trot into the outfield, but a high trot will be another easy fly out. Once again, just a little bit too underneath these. We're not finding the square hit. We're either on top of it or underneath it. Frankly, I don't know what Chacha has to do to fix that. Because the contact ratings are there, the plate vision is there, everything is there. As we also have an opportunity here for a double play yet again. Jimmy Joyce on the mound for us. Gives a hard hit ball to the third baseman. Actually turns into a slow roller on the infield grass. Vauzz turns and will have it around the horn for the double play. Though an injury here to Quincy Hamilton on that play. Could be anywhere from a bad bruise to a potential fracture or even broken metacarpal. A massive range there in what could have been. Chacha Vauzz, though, glad he is healthy. As that one is going to take a little bit of a better jog out to right field, but not a whole lot of hustle in tracking it down easily at the warning track. Perhaps that's a little bit of the extra power, making it not just fly out dead in the middle of right field. Shane Whitcomb, though, he's stepping up to bat. The Sugarland Cowboys, or Fancy Cowboys that is, have a 1-0 lead. As that one is going to go slicing off the bat over to Chacha, collecting his feet as he'll make a throw to put him out. I'm sure he's thinking every time we just line out, we've got to make sure someone else does line out. Top of the fifth, a big opportunity here for Chacha Vauzz. 2 runners on, you're down 1. You've got to put this one in play. 5-pitch mix. And Vauzz crushes another curveball down the middle, but it goes foul. Got to straighten out some of these and find some grass. Count goes 0-1 for Gusto, or Gusto, I've heard it pronounced both ways. Another foul ball. Fastball 95 in the upper middle third. And this one is going to go out to left field. Once again hanging. At least we sent one over to left. We haven't done that yet, but Chacha strands 2. Good news is those runs would eventually find their way around come top of the 7th to score for Tacoma. They take the lead. Another runner on here for Chacha Vauzz. And this one will be through. Make that 2 games in a row with a hit for Chacha Vauzz. Obviously, our expectations are far larger than this, but with the weird stretch of play that we've been under, we'll take that for sure. Putting 2 on here for Tacoma. Bouchard, though, trying to get out of the jam. Pitches in, and that will do it. Windish struck out looking. As we move along, it's dynamic challenge. No outs, top of the 9th. Chacha and the Rainiers are looking for some insurance. Chacha Vauzz. This is a huge opportunity. Cesar De Jesus on the mound. Pumping 101 down to the 81 with a 12-6 curve. And it's a fastball top of the zone. Chacha fouls off. Would love to score 1 here. Got decent enough speed for it. Laying down the bunt, moving them into scoring position, and misplayed by the third baseman. Will count, however, as a single. Chacha with the swinging bunt. 2 hits on the day. Talked about bringing back the bunt. Well, that one's gonna pay off. Bases juiced. And for Hogan Windish, there is no outs. He's 1 for 3 on the day, a single and a run. And everyone's playing in on the grass here. Chacha Vauzz, he wants to run. But he's not running there. Another strikeout on Windish. 98 fastball from De Jesus. Tyler Locklear, though, a home run in this one and a single. 2 RBIs. Though now you got to worry about that double play. Playing off the grass now. De Jesus, pitch number 21. And that will be a walk to bring home 1. Chacha Vauzz moves into scoring position for Ornelas. We saw a little bit in that last episode. as it's another walk to bring home a run. Arroyo makes it 4 for Tacoma. And Rylan Thomas stepping up, who's 0 for on the day. The Chacha Vauzz, he is 90 feet away. Getting a couple extra steps here. He'd like to get a little bit closer. In play, but snagged by second. Chacha looking for that insurance run to make it 5, but he is out. A double play on the snatch and throw. But do not fret. 4 is enough with the walks coming in the 9th. Rainiers take game 3 and at the midway point are up 2-1 in this series. For Vauzz, that bunt and single through the infield make it 2. As we move into game 4, can we continue to build? Dynamic challenge to start the day. Well, how about we aim for a double here? No one on, 2 outs. Colton Gordon on the mound. And Vauzz sends that straight over to third. A simple play for a simple out. He can't get him every time. We'll look to get more as this game moves along. Bottom of the first. Runner, though, 90 feet away for Mike Ford. We just need to get an out at first to make sure that that run stays off the board. It will be hit over to Chacha, taking a few steps over, catching it in the gap. Simple flip over, and there we go. We're through the first with no runs scoring for either side. Though that would not be the case for long. Top of the third, Tacoma takes the lead. Chacha Vauzz back up here, batting average at .235. That'll be an easy take, fastball inside. And this one might fall, slicing down in right. Chacha making that a 3-game hit streak. Definitely nothing exciting off the bat. Exit velo was 78 miles an hour, but it had enough to get over first and find some clay over in right field. Actually, that might have hit down in the grass. Either way, it puts Chacha on. Hogan Windish struggling behind. His average barely holding above 200. Vauzz gets that extra step. Haven't seen him steal in a little while. Hits really haven't helped him get anywhere as that one is in play, taking away the out at second and running it out at first, putting 2 on here for the Rainiers. Top of the third. And for Tyler Locklear, he was walked late in that last game in the 9th to bring home a run. Can he get a hit here with a full count? Chacha goes. This one is in play as he rounds third, but it will be played over at first for the final out of the top of the third. No extra runs scored there. But it seems like those runs happen to be scoring whenever Chacha is not in action. 3-2 now, top of the 5th. Vauzz is going to squeeze that one through. Again, just enough power to get by the infield and find a narrow gap. But hey, we'll take that, especially with the stretch we've been on. It seems like Chacha is feeling it as well. Now we need Hogan Windish to also feel it. Have I been calling him Logan? If I have, Windish, my apologies. But a 3-2 game here with an 0-2 count. Chacha Vauzz, he's going to second. As this one is in play again, he takes away a play at second, but well in time to have the out over at first. Kind of reminding me of a former teammate of Chacha Vauzz over in St. Louis who never got a hit, but always seemed to move Chacha around as he looks to continue moving around with that extra lead. Pitcher checks him, but not going his way. Vauzz over to third. And honestly, he probably could have stood up. No throw made. Chacha takes the bag. Through his limited time here down at AAA this year, that is 8 stolen bases. Vauzz once again getting a little bit of some extra steps in here. As this one is in play, Chacha will run on home. As Locklear is out at first, but with 2 outs, now that run will count back up 2. As we jump on from there, Chacha Vauzz 2 for 3 with 2 on. 1 out, top of the 6th. In fact, looking to potentially add on to it, though not the best hit. The double play is going to strand the 2. Chacha Vauzz unable to find that third hit there. But with a 5th appearance here, top of the 8th, now with a 4-run lead, we could look to find it. Chacha Vauzz facing Miguel and looking to send that 4-seamer inside down the line, but he misses. It was a pretty big cut, but it stays 0-1 here. Vauzz Now getting the slider that was well inside the chalk. Count now 0-2. 4-pitch mix here, 97 down to that 77. Vauzz. He takes it right off the chest. Swinging bunt. He's got to watch those pitches before he lays down the swinging bunt. That counts as a strikeout, and an awkward one at that we've seen a couple times this year. But Max Muncy's down here at AAA trying to keep his team in it, the Fancy Cowboys. But it's a weak hit straight to Chacha. High throw but caught, puts him away. That will see us on to a 3-1 series lead as we head into game number 5. One more win and we can take this series. Chacha Vauzz with another multi-hit day. Perhaps if we keep this momentum up, sooner rather than later, we will get that call up back to the major leagues. We got to show we can be consistent, and if we can get a little bit more power behind these hits, all the better. Wisniewski on the mound here for game 5, and Chacha fouls off his sinker, touching the outside bit of the zone. This time it's in play, but it will be a slow fly out to left field. Chacha Vauzz not moving the runner to start this one. And a dynamic challenge here for Chacha to follow. Top of the third, runner in scoring position. However, it's coming with 2 outs, so you really got to make sure you get a good hit, find a gap in the outfield. 62 speed might be able to make it in with a hit through the infield. Trying to squeeze it by. It's misplayed by the shortstop. That should be an error, not a hit for Chacha Vauzz. And indeed, they do count at E6. Might Chacha have been able to run that out? Maybe. But who knows? Windish stepping into bat here. He's 1 for 1 on the day. Chacha Vauzz once again with that extra step as he's going to second. That one is caught by the pitcher. Good play from the mound. Ends the threat with a runner 90 feet away. This game stays deadlocked. Bottom of the third. As Shea Whitcomb stepping up to bat. No one on for him. 1 out, 1-2 count for Zimmerman. Chacha Vauzz, he just needs a simple play over at first. And this one will be hit with a little bit of gusto behind it. Shout out to his teammate, if again that is how it's pronounced. Chacha, he plays it well and sends us into a dynamic challenge. Top of the 5th. No one on. 2 outs. Well, Chacha, what are we feeling like here? Take the first pitch, or do we just green light him and see if we could smash a home run? 5-pitch mix for Wisniewski. Got 97 with the fastball, 95 with the sinker, all the way down to an 80 with the slurve. Chacha Vauzz hits the fastball down the middle. It's definitely not a home run, and it's not even a single. Thrown out at first as he hits it straight to shortstop. At least there are some hits mixed in the middle of all of these. Will Wilson, his parents didn't get very creative. He's got 2 on, 0-2 count with 2 outs. Chacha just needs a play really either at second or first here, whatever is closer. Probably going to be at first as that one rolls through the infield. Chacha runs in on it and ends the threat of the Fancy Cowboys. My question is, if there's not horses or bulls or anything like that out in outer space to ride, are they riding comets? Not sure. Chacha Vauzz, though, 0 for 3 with that hit streak on the line. And he's well in front of that circle change. But he lays down the bunt here, heading over to third, who misplays it. Chacha is rounding, trying to make this into 2, and he is in front of the tag. A bunt double for Chacha Vauzz, and they're going to actually mark it as a double. Not a single legged out as the third baseman tried to no-glove it, and it did not pay off well for him. How about that for Chacha Vauzz? Given a double. Now we need a single at the minimum here for Windish. Already has won this game. Rafael Montero on the mound. That one's going to be down in the dirt, but seemingly blocked well by the catcher. Chacha stays at second, though might have been able to do something on it. I guess at this point in the game, better safe than sorry. Down a run. Just notice we didn't even talk about that. Chacha looking to get in range as that one is popped up. Chacha dancing around trying to distract the third baseman. Doesn't work. He stays focused and ends the threat as we head to the bottom of the 8th and potentially straight on into the 9th. And it would be bottom of the 9th. With a 1-1 game, someone in the top ties us up. Max Muncy, though, 0 for 3 with a walk. He's looking to be the hero. Nobody out. Not going to be the hero, though, as that one is well playable here for Chacha Vauzz getting in front of it. And that throws high, but in the range of first to put him away. That doesn't mean we're done here yet. 1 out, Mike Ford to follow with a 2-2 count. That one's going to be hit pretty hard, but caught by the shortstop on the shift. And we go straight to the top of the 10th from there as we've taken the lead. Though we would like a little bit more insurance, Chacha Vauzz would also love another hit in this game. Though going to take that fastball on the outside from Fleury. And this one is going back left field. Not as much pop on the hit, and it will be a fly out. A little bit of an errant throw, though, with good backup from the shortstop. Keeps the runner at first. And unfortunately, Space Cowboys tie the game, so we go to bottom of the 12th, 1 out. Runners at first and second. We need a double play ball here. Or crushed. Foul. And we'll move to bottom of the 12th there as unfortunately Space Cowboys do tie this game. Runners, though, second and third. As that one is speared by the third baseman. Collecting that out and getting us out of the jam here. We'll keep this game alive in extras. And it's Matt Pouchard coming into the game here, assuming he's facing Chacha Vauzz with a dynamic challenge leading off the top of the 13. Appearance number 6, 1 for 5 with a bunt double in this one. And you really want to bring home a run. So we're going to look for a leadoff double or better. A 3-pitch mix, 96 as the high, 81 as the low. Cha-cha. Gets a piece of that slider in the bottom inside third. And another one that he gets a little bit underneath, a jammed bit of contact. No runner advancing on that one. It would have been a good throw and probably a put out. The bottom 13 we go with Cerny having the same opportunity, though he's 2 for 5 in this one with 2 singles. Potentially, depending on where that ball lands, a single could win this game. Well, in extras here, the Space Cowboys try to keep the series win alive. Chacha Vauzz not going to be able to make the play at third, so he looks to first to get one at least. With a go-ahead run 90 feet away. But we would seemingly put him away as we're now into the bottom of the 14th for Kennedy Corona. 0 for 6, sliced here, but going to the corner. Landing foul, and just like that, it's back up to Chacha Vauzz. So moving quickly here through extras, almost playing a whole game and a half. Runner at first, Chacha Vauzz. Slider down the middle, he sends foul. A -10 launch angle, 83 mile per hour hit. So with an 0-1 lead here for Grant Ford. Chacha swings at the high fastball, fouling that one off. Count now 0-2 here in favor for Ford. Vauzz has to find a way to battle here. Attempting the swinging bunt, and that will be the final out of the top of the 15. Not a good pitch to attempt as it was low outside. We have a chance, at least in the field, to make sure we keep a hold of that lead and find a win in this one. Luis Encarnacion stepping up to bat here for the Space Cowboys. 3-2 count for Matt Brash. Why he's down here, I don't know. Mariners doing some weird things, sending guys down. Chacha Vauzz once again going to have to make a play over at first. Good throw, but again, runner moves over 90 feet from the plate. And it'll be up to Maverick Hanley to bring him home. To keep this game alive, Matt Brash, you got to be able to sit this man down. 2-2 count, 2 outs. Popped up in front of the catcher, backpedaling. And that is the win. Not only in this game, but a series win in an extra long game here. Chacha Vauzz gets at least one hit in it. Definitely missed a few opportunities to end this game a whole lot sooner. With that average bouncing back and forth between about a 235 to 240. Not sure if it's enough post this series to get that call up. But Chacha Vauzz would love to end this series on a strong note with a big game. With a runner at first, one out. Swinging at the outside fastball. I think he's seen too much tape of Cal Raleigh taking those outside ones deep. He's just a whole other type of guy. And that one that is very much a home run type ball. He gets way underneath it. Maybe barely by a millimeter leaves the infield. We've all seen first inning has not been the hitting inning for Chacha Vauzz. Hopefully not for Cooper Hummel as well. With one out, no one on. We got Dollard on the mound. And that's going to be hit straight over to Chacha, taking a few steps in to collect. Taking his time to set up that throw, a simple throw for another simple out. But it seems like not all the time are these as simple as they appear. Sugarland, they're showing up here in Game 6. They've plated 3 as Chacha Vauzz steps up to bat, leading off the top of the 4th. How about a base hit here? Keep that hit streak alive. Not having to rely on getting those hits late on in these games. Fastball is high. And this one is hoping to find the gap, but doesn't quite have the power behind. Instead, a fly out to right field. We'll take a jump then to top of the 6th with a very similar opportunity. No one on. Chacha leading off the inning with a dynamic challenge. And again, we just want to make sure we keep the hit streak alive. Mara is having a pretty good game out there. Leaves a changeup for Chacha just below the zone. It comes in and it's fouled off. Count goes 0-1. Chacha Vauzz sitting here. Swinging now at the high fastball. So he's gone high, he's gone low. Chacha Vauzz, what do you have here? Well, he's crossing the plate so far. Just need one on the outside to make it almost an upside down cross. Not sure you really want to do that. 0-2, and Vauzz with another solid hit, but not enough power. Goes to deep right field just in front of the warning track. So it looks like it will have to be another late game hit for Chacha to keep that streak going. But right now we move to the field for Ryan Robleski. Probably butchered that pronunciation, but no one on for him. One out. Fleming on the mound here for the Rainiers. As it is a chopper over to Chacha. Once again getting in front of it. Just has to control that throw right down the gut. With an 0-for-3 day with just pop out after pop out so far. You got to find your hit here. Top of the 8th, you're down 3. Let's start a little bit of a rally. And it starts with a 99 fastball, almost right down the middle, that goes foul. Launch angle of 140. Count goes 0-1. And trying to send this one down the third base line. It will be a single for Chacha Vauzz. Keeping that hit streak alive and providing a little bit of hope here late on for the Rainiers. These hits very much have not been anything to note of, but they're getting it done for Chacha. Nothing flashy. The flashiest play we've seen from him at the plate was that bunt double. As Vauzz looks to take second here. That is a strike, but it's not going to be a throwout on Chacha. He takes the bag. Now for Ryland Thomas. We need a hit here as Vauzz takes that extra step with a pitcher watching him. That one's down in the dirt. Chacha slides in. Coach emphatic about it. But there was no throw attempt. Vauzz moves within 90 feet. Getting a couple extra steps here on De Jesus. In play, but not through the infield. 2 steals for nothing. Staying down 3 as we head through the middle part of the 8th. This game relies on the 9th batter in Benny Montgomery. With a runner on first, 2-2 count, and popped up a few feet away from where the catcher was squatting. Space Cowboys take the final game, but we take a series with a 4-2 stretch. Chacha Vauzz putting together a solid hit streak of mediocre hits. And before we head into the next series, or start the next series, as we'll just get halfway through, we have 12 tokens, which we could use to try to boost some of Chacha's ratings. What we're going to do is add one on here to contact right. We will also see Chacha add 2 on here to his drag bunt, because frankly, he does drag bunt quite often. So we'll get that little boost to his hitting, and we'll take that to the field. And that locks in that this is definitely an extended stay here for Chacha Vauzz down at AAA. As he heads out onto the field here in Tacoma, and we look to get something going versus the Stripers, who are having a pretty good season, 73 wins. As we're out in the field, 2 runners on the bases with just 1 out for Charles LeBlanc. Osuna on the mound for us, not exactly the best start. 0-2 count though. If we could put him away, that'd be great. Otherwise, we need to turn a double play. Chacha Vauzz is going to have to cover the bag here, as that's going to roll over too short. Late to get the flip over to him. And Chacha has him at first, despite the slide coming in at his knee. Not sure how I feel about that coming from De La Cruz. Kind of feel like he should also perhaps be up in the majors, but a lot of guys bouncing around, it seems like, as Chacha steps up to the batter's box. 72 speed over at first. 1 out, though. And Chacha fouling off the slider a little bit early on it and not really getting much of that ball. 92 with the sinker. 94, though, with the fastball. All in all, not really a overpowering pitcher. A smash from Chacha that goes straight to center. That was probably one of his best bit of contact we've seen in quite some time, and it's still an out. Sometimes the game is just not in your favor. Top of the 4th we go as David Fletcher steps into the box. Osuna over 50 pitches here. And that one will be a roller over to Chacha as it slows down at the edge of the grass. But it will still be an out at first. Well, frankly, Chacha, he wants to get to a bigger stadium where it is sold out. We need some more hits, and we can't afford those good goods to go straight at someone. Missing that sinker low, 91. And Chacha tries the drag butt again on the one just outside the zone he couldn't reach. That's a strikeout, but we'll be right back up here, bottom of the 6th, as the Stripers do plate a run. It's an 0 for day for Chacha, but we can correct that here, keeping that hit streak alive. Though sending that one in a catchable range for right field. In fact, he almost overran it. Once again, we'll have to rely on some late game shenanigans from Chacha to try to get that hit and keep the streak alive. Brian De La Cruz, last we saw him, he slid in at Chacha's kneecap. He has a runner in scoring position here, top of the 8th, as they look for some insurance. Matt Foster trying to keep that run off the board, as Chacha looks to get a little bit of some revenge on Brian De La Cruz, getting the out at first. Runner moves, though, 90 feet from the plate. And there'll be dynamic challenge for Chacha Vauzz. Bottom of the 9th. It's a 2-run ball game. Chacha represents the tying run. And at this point, you really want to get that double or better. Get at least 1 in with 83 speed. Freitas on the mound. He's going to have that 97 with a slow of an 83. And Chacha lines it straight to another player. Some more good. But it's bad. And unless Windish can get a hit here and keep this game going, there goes the hit streak. With, again, 2 of the best hits we've seen from Chacha going absolutely nowhere. And a roller over towards short will be a win for the Stripers in Game 1 of the series. There goes the hit streak, but again, some of the best hitting Chacha's had in a while. Hard hit and lined straight to someone. As we get Game 2 underway, it starts with a dynamic challenge. We've struggled in the first inning at hitting the ball. A.J. Smith-Sawyer on the mound. He's already given up 2 hits, and Chacha Vauzz really would like to join the party here. 83 speed and 72 speed. That batting average down to 232. Chacha lays off the fastball, and the ump goes in favor of the Rainiers. Calling that a ball. Definitely could have gone either way. Probably more towards a strike. And that one smashed hard. Perfect, perfect. Over the wall. It is a 3-run shot for Chacha Vauzz. Well, I guess that makes up for the fact we went 0 for last game and have struggled in the first inning all series, or previous series long, all day long in this one. Chacha Vauzz touches home plate. Round of high fives as they work their way to the dugout. And that was just a good piece of hitting. Drove it with a high wall out and right. It could not contain the perfect from Chacha Vauzz. And frankly, if the Yankees need someone, that was a 353 home run. So I feel like we're right in their ballpark. With a 3-run lead still intact, it's bottom of the second. Runner on first, 2 outs, Chacha Vauzz. He tried to do it again, but he gets a little too far underneath this one. Can't drive it. Close to the warning track, but not quite. But now we got to make sure that it all doesn't implode here. As Manuel Margot steps up to bat. He has bases loaded. Nobody out. Count is 2-2. Chacha Vauzz, he's stepping into almost the running path here. Makes you wonder if he's going to try to go home. No. That one is over towards short. They got to at least get a double play here to limit damage. And they've got that, but a run does score with a runner moving to third. All in all, not a bad at-bat there for the Stripers as they do get on the board, but we move to bottom of the fifth. Chacha Vauzz, another runner on. Seemingly quite often. And a good hit here, but curving back towards the player. Why does that seemingly just keep happening for Chacha Vauzz? The rain's going the opposite way the ball curved. I don't know if when he swings that bat, if he's twisting the wrist in a certain way and putting a curve on the ball. I don't know. It's the only thing I could think of at this point. But bottom seventh, we now have a 4-run lead as Dylan Covey has stepped onto the mound. Chacha down in the count here early, 0-1. Covey gives him one to hit, and Chacha with a hard chopper. But in play for second. That's another out. Chacha with that 3-run blast, but not much sense. It's always a little bit of a you get some, you got to lose some, and that's definitely been the case here. As we move to top of the 8th now, Nacho Alvarez Jr., hell of a name. And it's a 5-3 game. The tying run at the plate. Count is full, and is going to be a tapper over to Chacha. Could have an easy play here, just got to make the throw in time to get out of the tough jam. With Margot stepping back up here, he provided a run earlier with a sacrifice. Gonna have to get the hit. With a 3-2 count, 2 outs, top of the 9th, runners go as it goes straight to third. And there is the win. Rainiers take game number 2. Chacha Vauzz with a 3-run blast to open up the game here for the Rainiers. Didn't do much after that. We'll see how he does as we head into our final game of the episode. We want to make sure we get another hit streak going. So Chacha Vauzz in the bottom of the first. Once again, he's got the man over at first with that 72 speed. He wanted that inside fastball. Just missed it. Not missing that one. Good contact, or okay contact, good timing. But it is delivered to center field. So we're definitely still not finding the gap whatsoever here today, but we've gotten through the infield a little bit. We're still driving some of these balls. We're just not quite finding the gaps on them. Home run is always nice. We've had 1 per episode the last 2 episodes. Chacha Vauzz has to make the play here, coming in on the grass. Before he touches the grass, though, he throws that over to first to end the top of the second. Keeping this game tied up 0-0. We'd like to find that hit here come bottom of the 4th. We have taken a lead, 1-0 lead. Darius Vines, pitch number 41 coming in here to Chacha Vauzz, and he does have that 5-pitch mix. Pitches down in the 70s, high 93, so a guy to kind of sit back on. Oh, that fastball still finds its way by Chacha. A little bit early and just pure miss on the contact. Count goes 0-1. Not missing that contact, but it is weak. Having to run all the way in, but still making the grab is center field. No hit quite yet. And come bottom of the sixth, the game would swing massively to the Stripers. 5-1. Well, Chacha, it's now time to get something going here. And it's again in play, but it's again not finding grass. Another one straight to the right fielder. Not what we've been looking for. And top of the ninth, 2 more on here for the Stripers with 1 out. They'll look to get a double play, though, here to get us out of this one and send us to the bottom of the ninth where we've got work to do. Chacha having to cover, hitting the flip. Runner headed to first and beats the throw by about quarter of a step. Runners on the corners, but none would score as Chacha steps up to the batter's box here, bottom of the ninth. You got to find something here if you're looking to rally. Jose Hernandez, though, trying to make sure that doesn't happen. And Chacha's going to help him out by sending that one straight over towards short. There goes another hit streak as Chacha Vauzz sat down at first with a line drive basically over towards short. So very much up and down. Still not seeing the dominant hits, and the best hits we have outside of that home run ball did not do anything here for Chacha Vauzz, keeping that average sitting around the 230, 235. Now, I was just trying to switch over to the next day to see if we had a cut scene, but apparently we just went ahead and simmed through the next game. But to highlight, Chacha Vauzz had 5 at-bats. He had 3 runs in that one, including an RBI, but he did have a strikeout. So clearly the game knows he should be hitting multiple times a day. They're just not letting it. So what that is all about, I have no idea. But as we look to close out today, let's open up a package and see if we have anything good here for Chacha Vauzz. We have a diamond something. Please don't be a bat, because we already have a diamond bat. But let's flip it, and it's a bat. Well, Chacha Vauzz, he's been struggling to hit. Perhaps changing up the bat is what is needed. So for now, we will say goodbye to the guitar bat, and we will go with the CS271 Select Maple. An all black. Ooh, this time we could actually customize it. Haven't been able to do this in a little while outside of the tape down at the bottom. Let's change things up a little bit. Chacha Vauzz with the black at the top. Handle color, we don't really have a gold. Closest we have would maybe be a light stained or a natural, or we just go solid black here throughout. Still with the gold accent perhaps here. Change that up to match. Still got the cross. In fact, do we got gold for that? Yes, we do. Let's add a little bit more gold there for Chacha Vauzz. No pine tar. Barrel ring, sure. Color-wise of that barrel ring, yeah, we'll keep that gold. There we go. We got a new bat here for Chacha Vauzz. Now, as for an update on how everything else is looking up at the majors, as we're not there, batting average for Ryan Bliss is sitting at a 246. Don't get to see much of the other ratings there from him. Actually, we can go ahead and check this out. What are we looking like here for the MLB stats? What is his WAR at? Because that is probably going to be the best indication of us coming up. He's sitting at a negative 0.5 WAR. So Chacha Vauzz, if he continues to at least get a couple hits a game, at least a single or so a game, some steals in the mix, he could see that call up happen soon. As for Pokolvich, who was essentially called up to replace Chacha Vauzz, potentially with him being 27, they just had to see where he's at, and that was part of it. He's only had a few at-bats here, 32. His average, though, is at a pretty solid spot, 250. It's around where Chacha was. His WAR is positive, 0.2, but nothing too stand outish. And is he providing decent slugging? It's at 400. Stolen bases, though, only 2. And run-wise, he's only scored 4 times. Meanwhile, while Chacha was up there, he scored 58 runs. Now, some of this is going to include his time over with the St. Louis Cardinals, but still is a good gauge. Stolen bases, he was at 33. He was leading the American League when he was up there. His batting average was at 257. His slugging, 385, so close to that of where Bliss was at. And as for his WAR, he's positive 0.8, so he still is, even not playing the last few weeks up at the majors, one of the better second basemen to offer. Down here at AAA, though, hasn't been the cleanest. It's a change in pitching, though. It's going to be slower, and Chacha's going to struggle with that. He did better with the fast pitching. As for the recent games, had the 600 in that last one that we accidentally simmed. But a couple offers in this, mixed with some really good stretches, so I think Chacha, one shouldn't have ever been called down. But I still think he's performing better than some of those other guys. Now, we've done a lot of upgrading to our hitting ratings, and frankly, I don't feel like it's really affecting anything. We tried to mess with the perks before, didn't really seem to have a big impact, but maybe that's what we need right now. So I would just want to take a look here at the insider info. And I feel like we swing on a lot of inside pitches. This is to gain a boost in contact on pitches thrown inside while there is less than 2 outs. So I'm assuming that just means 1 or 0, not 2 or less. Either way, I feel like perhaps we should look to make some upgrades here, because contact is the problem we are having. Our timing is good, but the contact is consistently okay or weak. But one thing to note here, if you take a look on the left side, actually it's behind my head, so how about I make myself disappear? You can see the trigger timing info, and it's on a 0-0 count, runner in scoring position, and 0 out. So not exactly less than 2 outs. There's a lot of other things that impact this. Now we could change that, or we could leave it and just get a better boost here to those inside pitches. But I feel like these things do need to change. Just runner on base, we don't always have guys at second or third, so perhaps getting that boost to just runners on even at first could be good here for Chacha Vauzz. So that is where we're going to put an upgrade at. And from then on, we could look to increase things, do a better count in the future, or continue boosting what the contact rating is. If the game is going to continue hindering us in that contact, perhaps these boosts will help us out. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below, where Chacha needs to spend his tokens to finally get the game to let him hit. But that is where we leave things off here for today. Chacha Vauzz had a good hit streak going there. We finally wasn't getting every hit straight to a player. We found some space, a couple good bunts. We bunted for a double. I think that deserves a thumbs up here for Chacha Vauzz. So make sure you smash that thumbs up, and also make sure you stick around as we are back again on Thursday, back to the normal upload schedule. Hit the bell icon on the bottom right, or scroll down, hit that sub button, and tap that bell icon so you're notified of when all these videos go live. We've got College Football 26 on Monday and on Friday, Chacha Vauzz Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we have the Jacksonville Jaguars for at least one more season on Wednesdays before Madden 26 comes out. Make sure we see you around the horn as Chacha Vauzz is waiting for that call-up that he deserves, and who knows if he even sticks with the Mariners past this season for doing him wrong, just like the Cardinals did.